Alright gang, this will be a more in-depth video of the latest system that I've incorporated into commands and colors. If you haven't watched the video preceding this one, I suggest you do so to get a quick overview of what's going on. Otherwise, we'll just hop right in and, as mentioned, do a more detailed in-depth dive into this. So, if I could recap, a lot of the incentive to do the things that I do with designing my own mechanics for games has to do with the plethora of commands and colors scenarios. There are a ton of those available. But if you are like me, you may not be completely content with the way that commands and colors deals with things. Taken in and of itself, it's just fine, but sometimes it just seems like it could do more. It has potential that is not being realized. So I fiddle, and hence the latest greatest. So this is the Rollica French first position. I should also add, this method works with the normal commands and color scenarios. I haven't tried anything with the epic scenarios, much less or much more anything with ground battle size, but as far as the conventional, original, traditional commands and color scenarios, this stuff works like a charm. So we have British objective here, British objective here. Otherwise, it is 5 victory banners. So let's see if we can finish this and go until one or both of those are met. So chits in the cup, we'll put our French Army chit and our British Army chit, French event chit, British event chit, French direct command chit, and British direct command chit. There are other chits that have not gone into the cup, but for the initial turn, beginning of the game, that's what goes in here. We'll deal with the others as they come. Draw a chit, and we get French event chit. And as mentioned, to complete that, we simply draw a card from our tactician deck. And if we can use it this turn, fine and dandy. If not, this will go back in the deck at the end of the turn. That's that. And then it was a infantry melee leader, an ordered infantry unit with an attached leader. We do have one here. I don't think we'll have any melee this turn though, so that could be a bust. Then we have our British event chit, and they draw leader bonus orders. Order a leader or unit with an attached leader in addition to the orders on the command card. Any command card bonus will not apply to this ordered unit. So looks like just an additional additional bonus action, I think, for British. I'll look more in depth at that in a second. Then we have the British Army chit. So when you draw your Army chit, a number of things happen. First and foremost, you're going to move. Think of this as a strategic move. You'll move everybody on the table, not just per section. Everybody on the table, and you can conduct second actions with command points, and also will be paying for purchasing section shits, which would be like your formation shits in the Grand Tactical Series. So let's go from left to right. That'll be 1 here. If you want to conduct a second action, you need to do so immediately after the unit has conducted its first action. And the second action has to be different from the initial action just committed. So it says these will all be moves. That shouldn't be an issue. We'll be firing horse artillery 1, 2 enough battle. Horse artillery's already limbered. Put them here. I guess we could spend an action to unlimber. But I want to get a little closer, I think. How do you know this is horse artillery? Because we have horses pulling the artillery. Okay, this guy's going to go up, and then these guys are heavy cavalry, so they'll go. They can go up to 2, 1, 2, right here. This is light infantry here. Still nobody in range, so there's no point in conducting second actions. There, these guys will move up. Guys there, guys there. But these guys can move too, can they not? The light infantry, 2 and 1 in battle, 2 and 9 battle. Or were they here? So we'll move here. So this will be an example of a second action. They move, they can move to, and according to commands and colors rules, they can move to a not battle, but we're not using, remember, straight up commands and colors rules. So here's where a second action comes in play. They move, we have 6 command points for the British. We'll drop that down to 5 and conduct an action. Now we will still use the moving range fire since they did move. Light infantry, moving range fire, full strength is 4 dice. That will drop down to 3 dice because they're firing uphill. What do we get? We got 2 hits, so those 2 hits will take their toll there. And because they took multiple hits, we're going to call that unit shaken. So they're done. Move to them. This is the line, so he'll go here. More line here. Move him up. Line here. We'll go in the wood. That represents being in the wood. We have Portuguese light, little 3 stand unit here. And now we're going to use another at command point to do a second action and fire. That'll drop that down to 4. Portuguese moving range fire, light is going to be 2 dice firing uphill. Made to 1 die. We got nothing on our 1 die. We had the other Portuguese units over here, a line unit. Don't worry too much about line and column or facing. We're going to focus mostly on the activation system here. Is that light? Here, that'll be their full move. And this guy was with them. We'll drop him off here. 1 and 1. Now, that is the end of actions or actions that we choose to take for our Army command sheet. The other thing we need to do, since we drew the Army command sheet, is purchase section sheets. We have 3 dispatch points. If we were to purchase a section shit to go in the Cub this turn, it would cost 2 dispatch points. If we were to purchase a section shit to go in the Cub in the next turn, that would cost 1 action point. So what I'm going to do is put one in here now for the cost of 2 action points, drop that to 1, and pay for that 1 for the next turn to go in the cup. So we'll set that by the cup to help us remember that. And that's that. Now we draw another chit. Maybe it'll be the French. Also, again, these are Perry Miniatures units. These are 10mm, 8mm, something like that. Not 6, but pretty close. We do get French. It is the French Army chit, so they'll do the same thing, although a lot less movement for the French because we want to hold these hills because we have an advantage there. I will pull these guys up here to meet and greet the Portuguese light. French light versus Portuguese light. We'll take care of that in a second. We will move these guys here. I'll put the leader there. Let's start marking stuff. This is not the, when you draw your army chit, it is not a firing thing. It's a movement thing, as I mentioned. Strategic moves, you cannot move adjacent to the enemy, which I just did. So that's not a legal move. If you do want to fire or move next to the enemy and conduct a charge here, that would have to, you would have to use a command point to do so. These guys can also possibly do something. And we'll mark these guys. How about this? I'll make some more of these. You hear the cuckoo clock? I think they can fire. We'll move these guys up here. They'll be able to fire. We've got 5 command points to work with for the French here. How do I determine the command points and dispatch point total? That's easy enough. I do so by looking at the command card hand total listed in the scenario and the for command points and the on-map leaders for dispatch points. So 2 leaders for the French, 3 for the British. All right. I think that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That will use all our command points if we so choose to do so. I'm going to spend a command point here to move adjacent and conduct a charge, which is technically different than a move. That is, or should be rather, 4 dice. Looking for 3s, we get none. We did get a 5, so they'll conduct a morale check since they rolled that 5. Typically in commands and colors that would just be a straight up retreat. I've changed that to a morale check, so it's 7 or less and then 1 for the flag. They rolled a 2, so they're fine. They get to battle back. That'll be 3 dice. They did get 1 hit, so that didn't work to the French advantage very well. Alright, there's that. That's done. Then we're going to fire with these guys. They didn't move, but still cost a command point to do that. So we'll drop our command point total from 5 to 4 now. Actually, that should have been... should be 4 already because we did the charge. So now we'll drop from a 4 to a 3 to fire here. And that is going to be 4 dice. 1s and 2s are what we want. We got 2 hits, so 2 of those guys are gone. Then, let's say we want to fire here and finish that off. That'll cost another command point, so that'll drop from a 3 to a 2. 4 dice as well. we did that, just that. So there's our first victory banner. 4 to go. Let's go here, 4 dice. And now our command point total drops from 2 to 1. What hits did we get? We got 2 hits there. Knocked out a nice chunk of the light infantry there. And we could spend a command point to rally them. We have 1 left, or we could spend 1 to fire here. I think I'll just rally them. And to rally, if you're in command, you just rally. You're not rolling anything. You just do that. So that's the end of our command points. However, just like the British, we need to purchase section shits, and unlike the British, instead of paying, because we only have 2 dispatch points, instead of blowing that whole dispatch point total to put some 1 shit in the cup for this turn, we're going to choose to put 2 section shits in the cup next turn. So there we go. We set those by the cup to designate next turn. We have a French direct command shit that was pulled. Now, direct command is just that. Any unit that is in command or within 2 hexes of a leader, you can spend a command point to do a direct command. We have no more command points, so that doesn't do us too much good here. The British do have direct command points left, so they could do a direct command. And they draw a section shit. That is the center section. So anybody in the center can conduct an action, and again, if you want to do that second action, hence the command point. So we'll go ahead and unlimber this artillery. These guys are fine where they're at. Stay. We'll pull these guys up. And we want to spend a second action on them, so we need to do so immediately. We'll drop this command point total from a 4 to a 3 and fire with the British line, which is 2 since they moved, and that'll drop to a 1 because they're firing uphill. Man, that's tough. They did get a hit though. They did get a hit. And then just to keep track of what the hell I'm doing, I'm going to go ahead and put one of these here to show that they fired. Actually, to show that they're done, so I don't try and do something with them again. These guys did not move, so they can conduct an action without fire. That is some French light infantry, I believe. This 4 dice drops to 3 because of the hill. That is 1 hit. Now, can they fire again for a second action? No. Why not? Because that action has to be different than the first action. So they're done. I should have fired immediately here. I kind of messed that up. We'll go ahead and do it now, though. Their action was to unlimber, so 1, 2, 3 hills don't affect them. 2 dice. We're firing at the French artillery there. 184s. We did get 1 hit. I'll take him down. Put a used guy on him. So that should be. That's 3 command points we used. We had 3 left on our command point total, so that should be the extent of second actions here, and that's fine because there's really only one unit left that could do anything, and that unit would be these guys. I'm simply going to just move them up here. They can't conduct a second action and fire because we are out of action points. We can go ahead and take these off now. I think I got all that right. It's a bit to keep track of, but it keeps your mind busy. If you're playing solo, it kind of hits a sweet spot as far as keeping busy, keeping track of things. Direct action shit for British, and again, that's kind of a useless deal because they don't have any left. So that's the end of that turn. So now we put things back in the shits in the cup. So what do we put in the cup? We'll put our army shit back in there, our direct command, our event shit, and the shits that we paid for to go in the next turn. 2 for the French, 1 for the British. We reset our command point and dispatch point totals, and I had told myself that any unused command or dispatch points carry over from turn to turn, so you could in theory build them up. I haven't yet done that because I tend to spend them all. So 5 here and 2 here. We didn't use any of our cards. This one couldn't be used for the French. Suppose we could have used this one for the British, but I didn't. Shame on me. Alright. Turn 2, if you will. Let's see. Why do I have lost 1 there, lost 1 there, lost 1? Okay. I keep seeing things that don't make sense. Lost 1 there. Lost 1 there. Alright, draw a shit. Do it all over again. It is the French event shit. We draw a card. We're going to get artillery reposition. An ordered artillery unit may move 3 hexes during movement and not battle, or move 2 hexes after it battles. Don't have any artillery I care to move, so another wasted card for the French. British direct commands, so we haven't had that, or we could use that yet, so let's do it. Again, direct command shit allows you to, if you like, don't have to, spend command points on any unit that is in command. In this case, within 2 hexes of any leader. We have 6 command points, so again, choices, you can blow them all out here on this direct command thing, or we can save some as second actions when our army shit is drawn, or our section shit. We'll use a few though here. Direct command, yeah, alright. Let's go ahead and see what we can resolve here with the cavalry battering each other. That would be like cavalry 3 is 3 dice. Let's roll 3 dice. We got 2 hits. Not bad at all. French battle back. They get nothing. So that was fruitful. We'll drop that command total from a 6 to a 5 now. And what else do we want to do? Maybe we can move as well, you know. Maybe I'll do that. I'll move up here. And this is any section, this direct command shit. Again, you just need to be within command of a leader. We'll move him up 1. Maybe we can sneak around the left flank here and take one of those objectives. All we have currently stopping us is full light cavalry unit. So that'll be 2 more. That'll go from a 5 to a 3. guys up one. Force artillery. Right there. That drops it from a 3 to a 2. Maybe we're gonna burn all of these, huh? Let's fire with these guys. Don't think we've done that. That'll go from 2 to a 1. That'll be 3 dice, drops to 2 for the hill. See what happens there. 2 hits. That was nice. Well, great use of that command point. And then let's fire with these guys, and that'll be that. And that'll be the end of our command points. 4 dice there, drops to 3. I don't think I did anything with them. What do we get? We get 2 hits. The last 2 times I played this scenario of using this method, the British didn't do near this good. They're doing fantastic right now. Really good. Alright, another shit. So what happened here, the British pretty much burned up all their command points using the direct command option. Next shit drawn is British again. This is an event shit, so we draw a card. What do we draw? We have Superb Infantry Training. Moving range fire not reduced for 1 unit. Okay, that could actually come in handy and be used here. Oh, another shit. French, this time it is a section shit, left section. We have 3 units on the left who can do things. Bear in mind we can do second actions if they're different from the first. Let's conduct something there. Got nothing. The Portuguese battle back, that'll be the end of that unit. Yep. He's done. So that is a victory banner for the British. Currently 1 per side here now. That was 1 action out of range here. Don't want to move off the hill. We can fire here though. That'll be our next action. Can only fire once. Why can we not fire a second time? Because that action has to be different than the first action you take. So it's only going to be 1 fire here. And it doesn't look like we'll need to use any of our command points for this left section activation. That's 4 dice. Man, if it was hand to hand, that would have been brutal, but it's not. The only thing we got was 2 5s, which again become a +2 morale check, needing 7 or less. 6 only, they failed that, so those apply. I think I've been forgetting the multiple hits. If I go here, I can stop because there's a leader. I think I've been forgetting the multiple hits disorder shaken thing. In fact, I know I have, so shame on me. Alright, next shit. French army shit. Now remember, this is everybody, but French are fairly content where they're at. Not very inclined to move. So we'll stay there. This is a non-fire thing. This when your army shit is pulled is, again, think of it as a strategic move deal. So if we do want to fire, again, we're going to have to rely on our command points to do so. We have 5 for the French. Let's see what we can do. 1 here, 2 here. 3 here. Let's just go ahead and burn them all. I'm going to use all 5 command points firing here. And let's do that. Alright, let's resolve these. 1 here is simply going to be 1 die. We get a hit, so that's kind of cool. Take him off. 2 here. Another hit. take it, whittling away. Let's do this. One here. Get a hit. Chisel, chisel, chisel. And 4 here. Wow, no hits on those 4 dice. Put that up, and this foot artillery, I forget what they're gonna get. 2 strength. No, 2 strength, 1, 2 range. It's 3 dice. It says 3 dice. So we'll roll 3 dice there. What do we get? A single hit. Take him off. And that is the all 5 command points now spent. So those are gone. And purchase things. What do we want to purchase? We have a left and a right that we can purchase. They would have to go in the cup the next turn. I think that's what we'll do. Put the left and the right next to the cup so that we know they go in the cup next turn. 1 command point for each since we waited till next turn. We could have put 1 in the cup this turn, but that would have cost both our dispatch points. Drawing a chit is what we're doing. This is the British right flank, consisting of 3 Portuguese units. Watch this, 1, 2, 3, and they're 1 hex away from that victory point objective. These guys will go here and tie them up with fire. We'll do so now. That is Portuguese line for 4 dice. Going uphill, 3 dice. And that's going to cause 1 hit. And then this unit here will move up. And nothing they can do in addition to this because they can't move again and they're out of range. So we draw a chit. British Army chit. You know what that means. Everybody can move, cannot move adjacent. These guys, since it's considered a kind of move, these guys will unlimber and fire as a second action. No, we don't have any command points according to this. I guess we burn them all with our direct actions. So all we can do is moves, put these guys here. He can't move adjacent. There, put these guys here. These guys here. That's Portuguese. No, that's just regular. What am I doing? That was just a left, right? Wasn't that just a left? Can't move everybody. Or was that the army shit? I can't remember. That was the army shit. All right. Losing my mind. And these guys can move up 1. That's all we can do. Oh, no, we can take that objective now. Portuguese light cavalry coming through with the objective there. I'll change that to British. And no second actions because we have no command points, but we can do our purchase sections. Let's put a centered shit in the cup for 2 command points and a left section in the cup for the next turn for 1 dispatch point. It's the end of that. Draw shit. What do we get? We get the center section chip we just purchased. One action here for the center. What will those consist of? I wonder. Lots of firing, I presume. He's gonna fire. He's gonna fire. Remember, this is a section chit that was drawn, so you can fire or move, and you can move adjacent. It's the Army chit that disallows you from moving adjacent or firing. If you want to fire, having drawn an Army chit, you have to use a command point to do so. These guys can fire too. With their measly little 1 strength. Alright, that's what's going to happen. Let's roll all these up. 1 uphill isn't going to happen, so see ya. What about 1, 2, 3 hexes away, 3 strength. It's 2 dice. What do we get there? Any 4s? Nope, nothing there. I'll buy 2 dice becomes 1 here. We did get a hit. There's another victory banner for the British. We get those here. So that's 2 now. Two victory banners for the British. Plus the deal here, it makes 3, right? Only have 1 for the French. Okay. And 4 dice here, going uphill makes 3. That is 1 hit. And finally, 4 dice there, going uphill makes 3. That'll be nothing. Okay. Can't even remember what shit that was I just drew. Is that our center? Why did I put that back here? Goes there. This is what happened, right? That was our center chit. Placing, the most confusing thing if you're not careful is placing these chits after they're drawn. Because again, we have chits waiting to go in the cup, chits that are dead. Try to remember to keep those separate. This is French center. I say that more for myself than you. No problem for the center here. Let's just start firing. Let's see what we get. Here's all our centers. Holding the hills, the hillocks. Let's go here first. Firing here. Nope, can't do it. What about here? 2 dice. He can. There's a victory banner for the French. I'll take that, thank you. One, 2x range, 2 strength. Still 3 dice, same as it was last time. We get 1 hit. Say guys, what about this? 3 dice. Not a single hit, wow. Finally, 4 dice. That would be 1 hit and 1 plus 1 morale test. Take that away. 7 or less, add 1. Rolled a 9, so he does have to pull back. This makes it a little more interesting. Instead of a 5 is a retreat. Well, it may or it may not be. You want it this way. Keep things a little more, as I said, interesting. Final shit. French direct command shit. We had no command points. We burned them all doing something earlier, so that's the end of turn 2. So what will we put back in the cup? We'll put our army shit back in the cup. Our direct command shits. Our event shits, which we don't seem to be using. The chits that we paid for the next turn. And reset our command points, dispatch points, which consistently keep getting used, so there's no carryover yet for either side. And you would start the next turn. Looks like 3 victory banners now for the British and 2 for the French. What is the, yeah. Looks like the British should be able to go ahead and push down the flank here and take this. That would make a 4th victory banner, and then this unit here, unless he pulls back behind the hill, is going to get lit up, and that'll be a 5th victory banner. So the British look like they got it made. As far as the French, what would they do? They can get a 3rd victory banner here. I could pull back a couple units and retake this. Will be a 4th victory banner. And then that's about all they could do short term. So there it is, yet another activation system in the books. Seems to be no shortage of these. Things I like about this, again, for the way my mind works and playing solo, the amount of busy work is kind of hitting a sweet spot. So I like that. I like the, there's a kind of not knowing which chits, well obviously not knowing which chits will be picked from the cup, but which chits will be even put in the cup to be picked with the whole dispatch point thing. And I like the command points, which kind of, again, adds another element of unpredictability as far as what units are going to do what when. It's kind of a multiple choice for either side. So some good things going on with this, and I like it. All right. I say this every time. I think what happens is people don't watch the video to the end, and I don't blame you. These things can be long. But what I typically say at the end of the video is comments, questions, suggestions, curses, whatever. Let me know. I'll respond. I'm always curious to know what you guys think. Or just say anything. What have you been playing? What have you been up to? Works as well. All right, I've talked long enough. This is now about 45 minutes. So we'll talk again soon, guys. Take care.